Hey y'all, so I just watched the third episode of White Lotus. And I can't believe I googled it. There's like 8 episodes supposedly for the third season. So we're technically one episode away from like the halfway point. Which I do feel it's weird because I feel things are picking up, but at the same time it feels still quite slow. Which is definitely interesting. I mean, the fact that it is kind of character driven show, it makes sense why there's like a lot of moments where you're just trying to like, or moments where you're trying to delve into the character's mindset, where they are emotionally and like the layers that exist within them. Like the one guy who you're now understanding, who came with his girlfriend, you're now understanding there's an element of revenge that he wants against someone, possibly more dangerous, and that he hasn't been able to like truly deal with the grief of his father's passing. As a result, he's a danger to the people around him. Like he's literally decided to get high and like unlock all the snake cages, and it caused his girlfriend to get bitten by a cobra. Like that is wild. Like if I was his girlfriend, I would not be that calm and patient. So this is where I kind of regret that I didn't watch the first 2 seasons, because one of the ladies with the port chai, who's the Thai, they're both employees of White Lotuses, but she's in Maui and he's from Thailand. She recognizes Gary as someone else who was probably in an earlier season. Like it's clear that she was in earlier seasons, and I just don't know because I didn't watch it. So I'm kind of regretting that now. I thought they were more standalone. I know there was some carryover, but I thought they were more standalone. Anyways, it seems there's like some stories going on and being unfolded there, which is very interesting. Poor lady. She had, I think, possibly a hard time in season 1 and season 2, and now she's gonna have a hard time in season 3, even on a vacation. Still, the family is still very interesting. Like the fact that the husband is clearly spiraling. At this point, he's like, I don't do drugs, but he's doing drugs because it's clear that everything's going to crumble under his feet, and he's trying to like hide that from his family, that he's in serious trouble, and like financially they may no longer be the same. So I feel for the guy. I empathize that it seems like he made like a bad decision. And now he's like struggling to deal with the consequences of it. I sort of feel for him because I like the actor. I think that kind of like helps like make me feel sympathetic even more. But like the struggle of him like trying to hide that from his family is interesting to watch, how he also unravels as well. And then finally, again, the most interesting one to me is like the three friend dynamic, because it's clear they all grew up together and view each other so closely, but now that they're getting into adulthood and finally actually interacting with each other after a long time, I think they are surprised by the changes each character has gone through. Like the choices that they have made, like for example, I believe her name is Lori, being divorced and like having to like having a daughter who's also going through a very rebellious phase, and then the actress who's married some young hot guy who she barely sees, and she's struggling with that. And then finally, the third girl, friend who I forgot her name, but is they are surprised because she's now she's an independent who voted for Trump, which is against everything they thought they would believe. So it's definitely really interesting, and like this time the friend heard it. You saw that she heard it. And it's definitely interesting. I feel like you have friendships like that where you kind of, when you have a friend and you meet them so young, sometimes you hold them to that, what they were. And so when they grow, it's kind of confusing. Like, it's not necessarily that they'll grow in the same direction that you grow. So there's always that kind of like potential of butting of heads where like their ideals no longer match your ideals, and possibly that friendship may no longer be the same, and like you need to like have that flexibility to allow that if you want to maintain that friendship. But otherwise, again, if core values are different, like sometimes you don't have friendships, like friendships don't last, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that they weren't important. It just means that they've run their course, which is sad in another way. But it was definitely interesting to see, like, even within the three of them, like they all took turns isolating. Two people would talk and judge the other, and for different things: love life, career, religion, politics. To me, that's the more interesting one, because you don't get this chance to see a lot of like female friendships portrayed on television in this way. They always kind of do have this like romantic element that like that ends up being talked about, whereas this one is just like, it's just female friendship that feels very genuine, sometimes in the best way, sometimes in the worst way. I won't lie about that. But I'm enjoying the episode. Would again like to see how more of Lisa, but at the same time, like, she's doing a great job with what little she gets. But that might just be the nature of her character, so maybe I should stop looking for it and just enjoy the show as it is, because it's fun. What do you think? Are you enjoying it?